She does not give a crap about anything that she is doing right now. I don't know, I just find it so cringy, and I am more interested in the side romance, but I might DNF the series. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I did gain a few new subscribers and I wanted to do a little introduction to myself in case you are new here. I'm Gia. I'm a ferocious reader. I love everything that has to do with romantasy, fantasy, everything in that general genre, and I also pick up a few contemporary romance here and there for palate cleansers. Sometimes I pick up some thrillers and some literary fictions. I do a bunch of like reading vlogs on my channel. I love doing like come along with me reading vlogs because I feel like I get more of my thoughts out and give my in-depth opinions about them. If you like videos that are within that realm, feel free to like and subscribe. It really does help my channel a lot. And if you want to follow me on my other social media sites, it's always linked down below. I wanted to talk about all the series that I'm in the middle of. Last year around I think December time, I posted a video where I went over all the 25 series that I am currently in the middle of, and so I have an update for that. I've since completed these series, and these are the series I've since started since making that video. These are the book series that I've since caught up with. Now I'm currently just waiting for the next release for each of these series, and this is the series I've since decided to DNF. And now I am currently in the middle of 31 series. I completed like 3 or 4 series, but I added more, so that increased my series count, and that's way too many book series that I'm in the middle of. I decided for this week I'm going to be focusing on either reading the next installment in a series that I'm in the middle of, or trying to decide if I want to continue with the series or not. The first book I'm going to be reading in this video is The Throne of Broken Gods by Amber V. Nicole. This is the second book in the Gods of Monster series. This book series is going to be a 7-book series, and it's sort of like a dark fantasy, more deals with like shapeshifters and vampires and all different kind of creatures. We follow a character who is named Diana. She is a very morally gray female main character, which is very different because I'm really used to the male main character being the morally gray one. And I read the first book last year, gave that a 4 stars or 4.5 stars. I did love that first book, but I felt like some of the pacing was a little bit off. That's why I couldn't give it a 5 stars. But I heard that everyone loves the second book. This one is going to be a little bit long. It's going to be a 615 page book. I remember reading the first one. I just felt like it was like the pacing was a little bit off for me. I'm hoping that the pacing will be fixed a little bit in this book. I'm currently... how many pages did I get in here? I'm currently 77 pages in. I'm hoping to continue and finish the second book because after that I will have the third book left, and the fourth book is supposed to come out in August. So I want to be completely caught up with the series before the fourth one comes out, which I really want to do because I'm tired of all these like books hanging around. And then the second book I want to pick up is A Crown This Cold and Heavy, which is the third book in the Kingdom of Light series by Stasia Stark. I read the first 2 books earlier last year, and it's a quick fun read. It's like not anything unique. It's very fae focused, royalty, kingdom, politics kind of deal, and also it's a big romantasy book. I think what's unique about it is that there are things called hybrids where it's like a half human, half fae that I like in the story. We got left off on a huge cliffhanger in the second book, and I just want to continue the series because it's a 4-book series. It's completed. I just need to read this book and the last one, and I would be completely finished with the series. So I decided to read this one. It's an actually relatively short book compared to all the other books in the series that I follow. This is only 371 pages, which wouldn't take me that long to finish anyways, and like I said, it's very fast paced. And the last book I do want to try to read in this continuing book series video is Heartless by Elsie Silver. It's the second book in the Chestnut Spring series. I read Flawless last year. I had an okay time with it. I didn't like the couple, and I just didn't, particularly the male main character. He did not catch my attention whatsoever. I thought he was a little child, and also a lot of the spicy scenes are very cringy, and I found myself like skipping through them. And I know that there's a lot of those scenes in several of these books, and right now I'm currently deciding whether or not I want to continue with the series, so I think the second book will be the deciding factor on whether I continue the series or not. I'd like to give at least 2 books a try in the series before I end up DNFing it. So I want to continue with that, and I will probably be reading it in the middle of these 2, and I will be back with an update once I make a significant dent in the Throne of Broken Gods. Samkyul, oh my god, you're crossing dangerous territory. Okay, so I just wanted to give an update on the Throne of Broken Gods. I'm about 228 pages in, and it's about a 610 or 611 page book. So it is a pretty chunky book. This is the original indie published versions. I believe she's been traditionally published since like earlier this year or late last year. This book is the second book in the Gods and Monsters series, and it's the sequel to Book of Azrael. I read the Book of Azrael last year around September time, and I believe I spoke deeply more about like my thoughts and everything and my reaction to the Book of Azrael in one of my wrap-ups last year. This book is a continuation literally right after the cliffhanger happened at the last book, and the ending was devastating. There was a catalyst that happened at the end of the book that I will obviously not spoil, and it kind of drove a lot of our characters to do actions that are being examined in this book. And we are following 2 characters named Samkyul and Diana. Diana's like this Igmorthan who's sort of like a shape-shifting vampire, and this book is set in an urban fantasy, and it follows different creatures like werewolves, witches. The main big baddie is sort of like the person who created Diana and turned her into Igmorthan, and his name is Caden. And Caden is committing all these evil acts. Something happened in the last book where Diana has had to make choices in her life to go after certain people because of these actions, and now Samkyul is literally just trying to basically get her back. He fell hard for her. He is a god king, and he's destined to rule over all the celestials and all of the humans as well, and he was sent down from where he was in Reshiram. These are immortal beings. They have lifespans that span thousands of years, and he has been sent back down to Earth from the last book because he has to deal with a situation that involves a lot of like destruction of the worlds that he's sworn to protect. And Diana is the one that he has been fighting with because she was a part of like Caden's inner circle, but then she decided to go and help Samkyul out because of the things that Caden is doing. And I am loving this world. It is very, very urban fantasy. I don't really focus on a lot of urban fantasy. I've only read 2 series so far that are classified as urban fantasy, or 2 or 3. Our female main character is very morally gray. She does not give a crap about anything that she is doing right now. She is literally in her reputation era. And Samkyul is just trying to bring her back to him and trying to see past all the hurt that she's causing him. He remembers who she is. He knows deep down the reason why she's doing these things, and he's just literally chasing after her and trying to prove to her that he will do anything to help her out and bring her back and show her how much he loves her. And I love that. He's like literally crawling on his knees for his girl, and he is so strong about his feelings for her, and he tells her all the time, and he said he's not ever gonna leave her and never lose sight of why he loves her and everything. And of course she doesn't want that. She just wants to hurt him, and she's just pushing people away. And I relate to her so much because she's just pushing people away because she's hurt, and she is doing it in the worst way possible. Of course she is unaliving people left and right, and I am so here for her reputation era, but I also want her to heal. We are at like a precipice right now. It's a multi-POV fantasy. It's been Samkyul and Diana's POV at first, and now it's introducing all the other characters that are in this world. And also we are at a point where we just got introduced to a new POV that I never thought we would get before. But I know with these multi-POV fantasies, there's a lot of things that they're working up to, and the revelations will come with every single book. So I'm so excited to get further into this book, and I will come back when I have more of an update. Alright friends, I do have an update. I did finish A Throne of Broken Gods, and I think this is the best one so far. The first one was a 4.5 stars from me, but this one I absolutely gave a 5 stars to. I thought it was well done for what it was because she wanted revenge against the people who hurt her. And Samkiel is just such a down bad male main character because he is all about her. This was a journey of Diana getting through her healing. I love his love for her, and I loved her character journey. There was moments in the middle of the book where I started crying because when you see all the hurt that Diana was going through while you are in her perspective and the journey that it took to show that she does deserve love, it was so relatable. This is the reason why A Court of Silver Flames is one of my favorite books, because Nesta is such a relatable character. How she was hurt and how she felt like there's all this hurt done to her, so she just wanted to lash out. I do think that the found family is getting stronger in this book. We did get new POVs in this book. After reading this book, it makes you realize that the plot is going to be a lot bigger than it was from the Book of Azriel. And I am so ready for the third book, and the character growth that they had in this book and the way it ended with the cliffhanger. I don't know how it's going to continue, but the plot is getting bigger and bigger, and I see why now that it needs to be a 7-book series. So absolutely recommend this, and I can't wait to continue on to the third book. Maybe I'll pick up the third book in another continuing series video because I really was tempted to pick it up this video, but I just stopped myself. I did finish A Throne of Broken Gods over the weekend, so that gave me a chance to pick up Heartless by Elsie Silver. I'm about 67% of the way through. I like these contemporary romance books because they are pretty fast. It's not like too taxing of me to go through the whole entire book and finish it with a quickness. That's why I love them as like palate cleansers. I do have like sort of like a love-hate relationship with Elsie Silver's books. Flawless was the first book I ever read from her. I actually really liked the found family in this series, but the biggest thing that I don't like is how it's very insta-lust, and also a lot of the spicy scenes are incredibly cringy, and I was hoping that once I get to the second book it would have changed and I would like the characters' relationship more. This second book, it's a lot like the first one, in all honesty. It's very insta-lust. The moment these two characters meet on page, they automatically think how attractive the other one is. Literally, every single time that they were together, that was the first thing that they would think about each other, how attractive the other one was. And I just don't really appreciate relationships where it's just based on physical attraction rather than, you know, slowly getting to know each other and then the attraction slowly gets stronger. It is the same with this one. This one's the trope of a single dad romance. This follows a character named Cade. He is the oldest brother of the Eaton family. He is the main rancher of the whole entire family. He owns a ranch. He took over like the whole entire farm and everything. He has a little boy named Luke. Luke is usually at school during the day, but it's summertime and he needs somebody to watch Luke for the next 2 months, and the mom is out of the picture because the mom didn't really want anything to do with raising a child. So he's looking for a nanny, and Willa, which is Summer's best friend. Summer is the female main character from the first book, and so they do a trial run, and Cade is basically falling for her because he's like attracted to how kind of like feisty she is because she's very protective of the people that she loves. And of course Luke absolutely loves Willa, so he decided to hire her full on for the nanny. They kind of like started having a fling kind of relationship. I don't know, I just find it so cringy. That's the reason why I'm not really rating these books, like these cowboy romances, high. I love Willa. I love her perspective and how independent and confident she is. She's really liking the quiet life that Chestnut Springs is giving to her. I know a lot of people's favorite is this book. It's just that, I don't know, it's just really cringy for me. I don't know if my feelings will change about how obsessed I will be with it because I'm not obsessed at all. I am wondering what the third act breakup is going to be, but I don't see this book getting any higher than like a 3 stars for me. I should be able to finish it today since I only have like maybe 100 pages left, and I'm reading it on my Kindle because I don't have any of them physically and they're all in Kindle Unlimited. I'll be back once I'm done with Heartless. Hi friends, happy Monday. I am back with an update. I did finish Heartless and I decided to give this book a 3 stars. It just wasn't that impactful to me. I did like the couple individually. I thought Cade played the perfect grumpy single dad role and he did grow a little bit. I think the main thing I don't like about Elsie Silver's writing is that I just find it so so cringy. There are points when the spice would happen, I'd have to skip it because the spice was just so cringy to me. I started getting the ick a little bit through because the amount of times they used the male appendage word in this book in the first like couple chapters was such a freaking nightmare to read. I don't know if I felt the chemistry between them that was outside of sexual chemistry. I wanted a lot more emotional connection and I just didn't find that, and I think their relationship happened so fast that they decided fully on how serious their relationship was after like a month of dating. And I love the kid. Sometimes I find certain like kid characters in books a little bit annoying, but this kid was actually really cute. I found Luke so cute, and I honestly didn't like the third act conflict. I thought the third act conflict was really unnecessary and they used a trope that I heavily do not like. I think it was just a little of a cop-out as a means to further along the solution of the story and make it a fast solution, honestly, because it was just a band-aid that kind of brought the characters permanently together. I don't know. I might fully decide at the end of this video. I'm teetering back and forth on it, but I might DNF this series. I've mentioned this before on my channel multiple times. I like a build-up when it comes to contemporary romances, and it is already guaranteed that the couple is going to be together at the end. There's no conflict or question on whether these two are going to be together, but I need to see them have a deeper connection with each other besides, you know, sex. And I just think that they didn't have it, and I did find him very attractive, I guess, because he is the single dad trope, and I don't know if I like single dad tropes in all honesty. I don't think I've read enough of this trope in order for me to decide whether or not I like it. I don't know, like, I'm so all over the place with this series because I want to like Elsie Silver's writing. I know how popular she is in the contemporary romance world, but for me, I just don't see the appeal to it. I wanted to give it till the second book to, you know, try to get my interest, but I don't see that whatsoever, so I'm settled on the 3 stars. I didn't fully hate the book, it's just that I didn't fully like it either. We'll see if I decide to continue the series or not. Right now, it's just stuck in limbo. I did start a new book, and I'm reading A Crown This Cold and Heavy by Stasia Stark. This is the 3rd book in the Kingdom of Light series, and in case you don't know, this book is set in a world where magic is like forbidden for humans to have. A lot of humans are born with magic, and when they reach a certain age, I think it's when a few months after they're born, they are presented to a priest, and the priest has to take away their powers in order for it to be presented to the gods that they follow. They are not meant to have it again until they're 25, and see if the powers that be give them back their powers at 25. And if they are found to have powers, they are then executed along with their family members because they assume that the family members already knew that they continued to have powers. So we follow a character named Priska, and Priska obviously has powers. She is trying to hide it, and unfortunately one day she has to use her powers accidentally to save a person in her town, and in order to avoid getting executed, she runs away. And when she runs away, she runs into a group of mercenaries, and they decide to travel with her and keep protection on her because of a deal that they made. And of course, she starts sort of having romantic feelings for the leader of the mercenaries. And this is the 3rd book. Like I said, I only have to read this book and the next one, and I would be completely caught up with the series. I think this series is really easy to get into. It's very uncomplicated with the world building. There are numerous characters in this book because there is a whole entire political situation that is happening. They are trying to fight the people who are trying to take away people's powers. I have enjoyed the 1st and 2nd book. The 1st book was very travel forward, like the first half of it, and the second half of the 1st book just turns into a way different plot than it starts off with. And the 3rd book is a lot more of the political warfare that is going on now. They are trying to find alliances and trying to build an army that would help with the current situation that they have, like a war that they're building. And I'm really liking the characters. It's just that this is not really anything new. I've read a lot of fantasy books that have the exact same plots that these do. We've seen this film before, and I don't know if I'm gonna like the ending or not, but I'm enjoying it for the most part, and this is more of like a beginner fantasy series. Our female main character, Priska, she's actually very level-headed. She's not as infuriating as a lot of female main characters that I've read before. She is a tolerable female main character, but she won't be my favorite. I am currently on chapter 18, page 222, so I should be able to finish this within the next day or so. And also, this book is not that long. Like I said, I'm enjoying it, but it's not nothing new, but I will update again once I'm finished with this book. Hi everyone, I am back with the final update, and I did finish A Crown This Cold and Heavy, and I ended up giving this 4 stars, maybe a 3.75. I thought the ending was really good. It's probably the hugest cliffhanger of the 3 books that I've read so far in the series, and now I only have one more. My feelings haven't really changed since the last time I updated. I still think that I should have read this at the beginning of my reading journey again, because I felt like I've read so many romantasy and fantasy books for the past 2 years already, so this is not anything new for me. I did like the characters, but there is some certain things where they're lacking a certain amount of depth, especially the 2 main characters. It's like the female main character and the male main character's relationship didn't have a chance of slowly developing. It's like they're missing something for me, and I can't quite put my finger on it. I just feel like all they have are interactions of being like lusty towards each other. There's like so many spicy scenes between these two, so it's very lacking in depth for me. I do like a lot of the side characters. I think they have their own journeys that they're going through, and there is sort of like a side romance that's slowly developing now, and I am more interested in the side romance than I am compared to the romance of the main characters. That's how I am right now, because they are trying to really establish that the male main character and the female main character have like a such strong relationship, but I honestly don't think they do, at least for my opinion. So I'm more interested in the side characters now and the way they're doing things, because there are like different POVs like I mentioned before in this book, and the cliffhanger that happened in the end, I did expect for it to happen because there was so much foreshadowing of them talking about it in the last half of the book. I knew it was gonna come true. This book series will probably be a book series that I'll recommend to people who are just barely getting into fantasy, or just want a nice, easy, fast romantasy that they can get into that doesn't require a lot of like heavy thinking. I would recommend this, but if I want to honestly say that's going to be a favorite, I don't think so. I think it's good, but I've read better, which is understandable because I did read a lot of like romantasy and fantasy books, and they're all kind of like starting to become very, very similar to each other. So overall, I gave this book a 4 stars, and I have one more book left, so I'm hoping to finish the last book within the next month or so I can count the series off my list. And so I'm going to do a final recap of all the books that I read in this vlog. So I did end up finishing The Throne of Broken Gods, the second book in the Gods and Monsters series. I have one more book to completely catch up on the series before the 4th book comes out in October 28th, I think, or November. No, October. I absolutely love this. My only 5-star read of the whole entire video. It's such great mental health representation. I love the slow journey that the characters come to get to the end of their characters at this book, and that cliffhanger is still so crazy to me, and I did not expect that at all. We'll see how I go on in the 3rd book, and I definitely will finish the 3rd book before the 4th book comes out. But right now, I absolutely love this book, and I highly recommend to everyone, especially if you love urban fantasy. And the book I read after that was continuing on with the Chestnut Spring series, and that was the 2nd book called Flawless, and I did end up giving it a 3 stars, and I have fully decided that I'm going to not include this series anymore in my continuing series vlog. I think I'm just going to use it as a means of like palette cleansers in case I really need something that'll just not put me in a slump, or if I'm in a slump or something like that to use. I'm gonna not count it in these series vlogs anymore, because in all honesty, I like to give series at least 2 books before I fully commit to reading the whole entire series, and the first 2 books was just on the same level for me, and a lot of people who love Chestnut Springs thinks the 2nd one is their favorite, and it's not. It just wasn't worth it for me. So I will not be continuing the series in these vlogs, but I will keep it on the back burner for palette cleansers. And then of course the one I talked about recently, A Crown This Cold and Heavy by Stasia Stark. I am almost done with this series. I'm so excited to finally count it off and see how the ending's going to be. But anyways, that is all from me today, and I thank you for coming along with me this journey. Just gonna be part 1 of the continuing series I'm in the middle of. I hope that I'm not adding more series onto my list, but knowing me, I probably will. I thank you for continuing supporting my channel. If you want to see more videos like this, like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye.